So after a few days, think I'm giving up on what I saw on a video. It must have been a Jackery influencer. He said, "Wow, look at this! You could just toss these solar panels out on the ground, and look how fast it's charging," and really hooked it up. And the reality of things here in Pennsylvania is that no, it's taken too many days to actually charge these things. So I'm going to get it up off the ground instead and build something that will be more optimal for charging. And we'll see how that works out.
All right, so today we were going to try and put this together. I already laid the board on top here. Went to Lowe's and got the board that's 8 foot. However, these screens, which are supposed to be pyramid style, tent style, measure from one end, which is touching the ground, to the other, just under 9 foot, but it's definitely over 8 foot. So I went to Lowe's and had them cut off a board and to make a 9 foot board. As you can see, that's my intention here. But when I was at Lowe's, I didn't explain myself very well. I had bought 9 of these things, 7 for one purpose, but 9 of these things. And I told him to take one, and I said, "Could you cut a foot off?" And he said, "Sure, okay." And I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to make a 9 foot board." And the two guys looked at each other and said to themselves, "What type of idiot are we dealing with here that doesn't know 8 minus a foot is 7 feet?" And I said, "I'm going to take that foot." And they didn't say anything. I could see the look on their face. I'm going to take that 1 foot piece and add it to one of the 8 foot boards. That'll make 9 feet. And then all of a sudden, a light bulb goes off and they realize, okay, we can cut that. And so they did. And there you have it. But I just realized that I need another one for the top part, because one of these units, set of solar panels, is going to take one board. I need that upper board, and I did the proper measurement, but evidently I forgot that I needed 2 1 foot boards, so I'll have to cut one manually. No big deal, but it just added a little bit of more time to it. And it looks like I'm going to have to actually brace it somehow behind it, so that it's connected, because as you see, there's too much of a gap there, and that's understandable because it's just laying flimsy like that. And so I will make that correction. All right, so after we manually cut the board and fasten it together and placed another horizontal board across the top, just now we have 9 foot wide and 8 foot tall. We need to put paper on it like we're roofing to protect the wood, because that's not going to last for years and years. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm not going to shingle it or anything like that, but there's a stretch to get those boards on there and fastened on. But that's our next step, is to roll out the paper and staple it. So now that we have the backing or roof paper on the boards for a little added protection, we're ready to move on to the next stage, and that is I ordered a extension cord for the solar panels, and well, that's the tangle web I have. I didn't unfold that very well, but nonetheless, I'm going to stretch that out and try and run it so that it goes through a place that's of the least resistance, which is that door right above there, as opposed to all the aluminum and stuff like that. So we're going to try and create the least path. So we're going to try and come through there and up through the ceiling and down through that door, and then around the corner on the inside into the battery. That's the goal. All right, what's nice is that Jackery includes for each solar panel one of these compasses, and that helps you to determine in which way the solar panels should be facing mostly. And right now, north is behind us and south is in that direction. Maybe not as perfect, part of my raspberry bushes, but yeah, that's why we're building this off the deck, because the actual angle of the solar panels should be as much facing south as possible. The roof that I have actually points southeast, and I'm trying to maximize it, and that's why we're not putting on there. Plus, I don't want to mount it to the roof, because if I decide to move, these things are supposed to be portable. I'd rather attach it to this board and then detach it, leave the board behind, and go to the new place. So there you go.